Republic Act Number 8749, an act providing for a comprehensive air pollution control policy and for other purposes. Declaration of Principles. The state shall protect and advance the right of the people to balance and helpful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. The state shall promote and protect the global environment to attain sustainable development while recognizing the primary responsibility of local government units to deal with environment problems. The state recognizes that the responsibility of cleaning the habitat and environment is primarily area-based. The state also recognizes the principle that the polluter must pay. Finally, the state recognizes that a clean, healthy environment is good for all and should therefore be the concern of all. Declaration of Policies. The state shall pursue a policy of balancing development and environmental protection. To achieve this end, the framework for sustainable development should be pursued. It shall be policy to state. A. Formulate a holistic national program of air pollution management that shall be implemented by the government toward the proper delegation and effective coordination of function and activities. B. Encourage cooperation and self-regulation among citizens and industry through the application of a market-based instrument. Focus primarily on pollution prevention rather than on control and provide for a comprehensive management program for air pollution. Promote public information and education to encourage the participation of an informed and active public in air quality planning and monitoring. Formulate and enforce a system of accountability for short and long-term adverse environmental impact of a project, program, or activity. Recognition of rights. Pursuant to the above declared principles, the following rights of citizens are hereby sought to be recognized, and the state shall seek to guarantee their enjoyment. The right to breathe clean air, the right to utilize and enjoy all nature resources according to the principle of sustainable development, the right to participate in formulation, planning, implementation, and monitoring of environmental policies and programs in the decision-making process, the right to participate in the decision-making concerning development policies, plans and programs, project or activities that may have adverse impact on the environment and public health, the right to be informed of the nature and extent of the potential hazard of any activity, undertaking, or project, and to be served timely notice of any significant rise and the level of pollution and accidental or deliberate rise in the atmosphere of harmful or hazardous substances, the right to access to public records, which as a citizen may be needed to exercise his or her right effectively under this act, the right to bring action in the court or quasi-judicial bodies to enjoin all activities in violation of environmental laws and regulations, to compel the rehabilitation and cleanup of affected area, and to seek imposition of penal sanction against violators of environmental laws, the right to bring action in court or compensation of personal damage resulting from the advised environmental and public health impact of a project activity. Definition of terms. Air pollutant, air pollution, ambient air quality guideline values, ambient air quality, certificate of conformity, department, eco-profile, emission, greenhouse gases, hazardous substance, inspection waste, medical waste, mobile source, motor vehicle, municipal waste, new vehicle, octane rating, anti-NOx index, ozone-depleting substance, presentant organic pollutant, poisonous and toxic fumes, pollution control device, pollution control technology, standard performance, sanitary source. Chapter 2, Air Quality Management System, Article 1, General Provision, Air Quality Monitoring and Information Network. The Department shall prepare an annual National Air Quality Status report which shall be used as the basis in formulating the Integrated Air Quality Improvement Framework as provided for N section. The said report shall include, but shall not be limited to the following: extent of pollution and the country per type of pollutant and per type of source based on report of the Department Monitoring Station, analysis and evaluation of the current state, trends, and projection of air pollution at the various levels provided herein, identification of critical areas, activities, or projects which will need closer monitoring or regulation, recommendation for necessary executive and legislation action. Other pertinent qualitative and quantitative information concerning the extent of air pollution and the air quality performance rating of industries in the country. The Department, in cooperation with the National Station Board, shall design and develop an information network for data storage, retrieval, and exchange. The Department shall serve the central depository of all data and information related to air quality. Integrated Air Quality Improvement Framework. The Department shall within 6 months after the effectivity of this Act establish with the participant of the LGUs, NGOs, POS, the Academy, and other concerned entities from the private sector, formulate and implement the Integrated Air Quality Improvement Framework for a comprehensive air pollution management and control program. Air Quality Control Plan. Within 6 months after the formulation of the framework, the Department shall with the public participation formulate and implement an air quality control action plan consistent with the Section 7 of this Act. The action plan shall include enforceable emission limitation and other control measures, mental techniques, as well as schedule and timetables for compliance, as may be necessary or appropriate to meet applicable requirements of this Act. Provide for the establishment and operation of appropriate device, methods, system, and procedures necessary to monitor, comply, and analyze data, augment air quality. Include a program to provide the following: enforcement of the measure described in the sub-paragraph, regulation of the modification and construction of any sanitary source within the areas covered by the plan, in accordance with land use policy to ensure that ambient air quality standards are achieved. Contain adequate provision consistent with the provision of this Act prohibiting any source of other types of emission activity within the country from emitting any air pollutant in amount which will significantly contribute to the non-attainment or will interfere with maintenance by the Department of any such ambient air quality standard required to be included in the implementation plan to prevent significant deterioration of air quality or to protect visibility. Include control strategies and control measures to be undertaken with a specified time period. Include cost effect, obvious economic incentives, management strategies, collection action, and environmental education and information. Designate airsheds and all other measures necessary for effective control, abandonment of air pollution. Airshids. Pursuant to Section 8 of this Act, designation of airshed shall be on the basis of but not limited to areas with similar climate, meteorology, and topology with effect the interchange and diffusion of the pollutant in the atmosphere, of areas which share common interests, or face similar development program, prospects, or problems. The board shall be headed by the Secretary of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources as chairman. The member shall be follows: provincial governors from areas belonging to the airshed, city municipal mayors from areas belonging to the airshed, a representative from each concerned government agencies, representative from people organization, representative from non-government organization, representative from the private sector. The board shall perform the following function: formulation of policies, preparation of a common action plan, coordination of a function among its members, submission and publication of an annual equality status report for each airshed. Management of the treatment areas. The department shall designate areas where specific pollutants have already exceeded admin standard as non-attainment areas. In coordination with other appropriate government agencies, the LGUs shall prepare and implement a program and other measures including relocation whenever necessary to protect the health and welfare of residents in the area. For those who designated unattainment areas, the department, after consulted with local government authorities, non-government organization, people's organization, and concerned sector, may revise designation of such areas, expand its coverage to cover large area depending on the condition of the areas. Air quality control technique, simultaneous with the issuance of the guideline values and standards. The department, through the research and development program contained in this act, and upon consultation with the appropriate advisory committees, government, agencies, and LGUs, shall issue, and from the time to time, revise information on air pollution control technique, such as information shall include information about emission limitation and other control measures, means or techniques, as well as schedules and timetable for compliance, as may be necessary or appropriate to meet the applicable requirements of this act. Provide for establishment and operation of appropriate device, methods, systems, and procedure necessary to monitor, compile, and analysis data, amendment, equality. Include program to provide for the following in pursuit of the measure described in the subparagraph. Regulation of the modification and construction of any sanitary resource in the area covered by the plan in accordance with land use policy to ensure that ambient air quality standards are achieved. Ambient air quality guidelines, values, and standards. The department, in coordination with other concerned agencies, shall review and or revise the published annually and list of hazardous air pollutants with corresponding ambient guidelines, values, or the standard necessary to protect public health and safety and general welfare. Emission charge system. The department, in case of industrial discharge, and the Department of Transportation and Communication, in case of motor vehicle discharge, shall be based on environmental techniques designed, imposed on the collection regular emission fees from the state of discharge as the part of the emission permitting system or vehicle registration renewal system as the case may be. Air Quality Management Fund. An Air Quality Management Fund to be administered by the department as a special account in the National Treasury is hereby established to finance containment, removal, and cleanup operation of the government in air pollution cases, guarantee restoration of ecosystem, and rehabilitate areas affected by the acts of violator of this act, to support research, enforcement, and monitoring activities and capabilities of the relevant agencies, as well to provide technical assistance to the relevant agencies. Air Pollution Research and Development Program. The department, in coordination with the Department of Science and Technology, the other agencies, the private sector, the academy, NGOs, and POEs, shall establish a national research and development program for the prevention and control of air pollution. Article 2. Air pollution clearance and permits for sanitary sources, permits, consents. With provision of this Act, the Department shall have the authority to issue permits as it may determine necessary for the prevention and advancement of air pollution. Emission quotas. The Department may allow each regional industrial center that designated as a special area to allocate emission quotas to pollution source within the indication that qualify under the Environment Impact Assessment System Programmatic Compliance Program pursuant to the implementing rules and regulation of the Presidential Decree 1586, Financial Liability for Environmental Rehabilitation, as part of the Environmental Management Plan attached to the Environment Compliance Certificate pursuant to the Presidential Decree of 1586 and rules and regulation of said thereof. The Department shall require program and project proponents to put a financial guarantee mechanism to finance the needs of emergency response, clean-up, or rehabilitation of areas that may be damaged during the program or project actual implementation. Article 3. Pollution from sanitary sources. Pollution from sanitary sources. The Department shall within 2 years from the effective date of this Act, and every 2 years thereafter, review, or as the need of thereof, areas revised, and public emission standard to further improve the emission standard. Sanitary source of air pollution. Such emission standard shall be based on the mass rate of emission for sanitary sources. Ban incineration is incineration hereby defined as the burning of municipal, biomedical, and hazardous waste, which passes, emits poisonous and toxic fumes as hereby prohibited. Article 4. Pollution from motor vehicle. Pollution from motor vehicle. The DOST shall implement the emission standard for motor vehicle circulation to and as provided in this Act. Regulation of all motor vehicle and engines. Any imported, new or locally assembled, new motor vehicle shall be not registered unless it complies with the emission standard set pursuant to this Act, as evidenced by certificate of conformity issued by the Department. Second-hand motor vehicle engines. Any important second-hand motor vehicle engine shall not be introduced in commerce, sold or hold unless it complies with the emission standard set pursuant to this Act. Article 5. Pollution from other sources. Pollution from smoking. Smoking inside a public building or an enclosed public places, including public vehicle and other means of transport, or any enclosed area outside of one private residence, private place, or work, or any duly designated smoking areas is hereby prohibited under this Act. Formulation from other mobile sources. The Department, in coordination with appropriate agencies, shall formulate and establish the necessary standard for all mobile source other than those referred to in Section 21 of this Act. Chapter 3. Fuels, Additives, Substance, and Pollutants. Article 1. Fuels, Additives, and Substance. Fuels and additives, pursuant to the Air Quality Framework to be established under Section 7 of this Act. This Department of Energy, co-chairs by the Department of Environmental and Natural Resources, in consultation with the Bureau of the Product Standard of the DTI, the DOST, the representatives of the fuel and automotive industries, Academy, and the consumer shall set a specification for all types of fuel and fuel-related products to improve fuel composition for increased efficiency and reduced emission. Regulation of the fuels and fuel additives. The DOE, in coordination with the Department and the DIV and BEPs, shall regulate the issue of any fuel or fuel additive